What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Tuesday night and welcome to Marked by Wrestling. Welcome, lords and ladies, boys and girls, to another edition of NXT. It's so good to be back with you guys. My apologies that I didn't get to rock with you guys for No Mercy. Family first here at Marked by Wrestling, which is what I always say. But I did watch it Saturday night after the fact, and what a show. I'll definitely be giving my thoughts specifically on No Mercy during one of the commercial breaks or during one of the picture-in-picture breaks. But we're getting started here now with our new Then Now Forever together preview thing, prologue, whatever you want to call it. And I think they debuted that at WrestlePalooza. But yeah, good to see you guys. Happy Taco Tuesday to you as well, Zach. Dossie, George, Sophie, good to see you all. Yeah, all right. So we're getting a recap from last week when TNA basically just gang jumped NXT during the title for title match, which we were all here together for that. So I'm not going to comment too much on that. But yeah, man, I'll give my formal thoughts. I wrote down, if you're not following me on X, you can follow me on X. Sometimes I'm entertaining on there. Sometimes I'm kind of boring, but you can follow me at Mark by Wrestling on X, where I kind of talk about here, there, this, that, and the other in regards to wrestling on social media. But I gave some lengthy thoughts about No Mercy there, and I'll read those for you during one of the breaks. George, yeah, I was off, man. I thought JC's time was up, and it turned out Oba's time was up, man. I'm interested to see what's next, I guess. I'm not entirely convinced that either of those matches was the right call. Doesn't take away from how good both matches were. They were both good matches. But and Jaida Parker subbing for Lainey Reed in the speed match was great. That was a great little 5-minute match there. They even factored in Lash Legend and Zarya, which was really cool. And yeah, great match there. As we all anticipated, Ethan Page going over on Tavion Heights, but they seem to be on he seems to be on a collision course here with Dr. Wagner Jr. So we'll see when that match comes about. And of course, yeah, Lola falling short to JC Jane. Man, I just, as a fan, I hated that finish. I thought they really could have gone with Lola for this one, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, does Lola get another shot after that? That's the thing that I wonder, is it like she has failed to capture the title twice now, once from Roxanne Perez and once from JC Jane. And like, what do you do with her? I mean, obviously, I'm assuming that was Lainey Reed under the mask or under the hood that took her out, or it was implied to be Lainey Reed, regardless of whether or not she's actually injured. So I imagine Lola and Lainey will go at it, but like, yeah, you got to wonder, is she going to get back in the title picture at all? Especially with that cage match, which we're seeing a recap of, which was a lot of fun. Blake Monroe dressing up like New Jack Barbie. Yeah, maybe Jordan Grace gets into the title picture now. So we'll see. We'll see. And let's see. And yeah, the shocker of the night, Oba's reign comes to an end. And so you got to ask yourself, does Oba stick around anymore, or if he gets called up? And if he gets called up, how soon does he get called up? We can talk about that in a commercial break as well. There are three things. There's three possibilities I'd like to see Obafemi for in the in his main roster, and we can talk about those when the opportunity comes. We're already looking ahead next week to I think it's now being called Showdown. It was called Invasion, announced as Invasion, Why they didn't call it Takeover is beyond me. That's such an NXT term. But we're here in the house now. And let's see if we open up the show with the new champion. Yep. Opening up with our new champion. Missed you guys too, Sophie. Dawsey, I'm not a fan of them changing the name Invasion. I heard, well, I don't know. I don't know if the reason why some people were upset was the reason that they changed it. I don't know why else they would. But I don't think that's necessary just for a one night wrestling show. I think it's kind of silly, but yeah, we'll see if Lola gets another shot. We'll see if Oba gets his call up, when that happens. And let's see. Yeah, Ricky's here. Yeah, Sophie, I saw that. I have YouTube TV, so I got the messages about that, which is going to make things a little challenging for SmackDown. Well, not so much for me because since I've been streaming, I've been doing the VPN with Netflix. I highly recommend if you're trying to save money and you don't want to buy all these apps and stuff to use a VPN and use Netflix for your WWE content. You can get everything that WWE broadcasts except I think Saturday night's main event. I think that's the only one that we can't get through Netflix, but you can get weekly Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. You get the regular PLEs and you get the NXT PLEs all through Netflix. It's all possible. So just so you know. All right. Yeah. Peacock does show SmackDown, but it shows SmackDown on a delay. I can't remember how long the delay is, George. All right. New champ in the ring. Getting the You Deserve It chance. I'm sure Tony Khan is watching some. No, I'm just kidding. No, he's not watching. Yeah, we'll find out, George, who's his first challenger going to be. I hope it's not Josh Briggs. Hmm. Hey, Nico, welcome to the chat, my friend. George, I agree. I think Javon and Ricky could have a fun program. Javon got a lot of shine this past week, too. Justin, we better, dude. We better. Serious Lola is the best Lola. Serious and flirty. That combination. All right, Ricky's fired up to take his victory lap here. Fatal influence. Don't tell me JC Jane is going to come out and challenge Ricky Saints. Okay, well, JC and Ricky, I guess they're at least going to have a promo off here. Justin, I really like No Mercy. I would have done a couple things differently, but I enjoyed the show. I thought it was a good show. All the matches were solid. I give JC credit, man. She's in her bag. I don't like her still, but she's doing great. That's right. Kalani Jordan is the Knockouts champion now. We haven't had a chance to talk about that. Okay. Well, who's coming to interrupt now? Ricky and oh, Ava's here. Maybe she's gonna talk about the challengers. Yeah, Sophie, movies these days have a pretty quick turnaround. I feel like Ava's gonna call them the team captains. I knew it. All right. So next week at Invasion Showdown Takeover, we have 2 Survivor Series matches. Yeah, Dossie, Javon, and Slater too. And we're at the Hardys and Dark State as well. Oh, Santino Marella. Come on, Santino, give us a little trombone action, dog. Sophie, my weekend was good. Spent some time with my kid. Spent some time, just hanging out with the family, and I got to watch wrestling later. I just didn't get to watch it live with you guys. So I missed you guys, but I had a good time. NXT still loves Santino. I wonder if he'll introduce the TNA captains here. Hey, Shamanica, we'll find out for the Survivor Series matches next week. Find out who the captains are. He does not. How can you? He makes a good point. How can you trust someone named Tricky? All right, Mike Santana is the TNA captain, predictably, but predictability is not a bad thing. Okay. And Masha has stepped away from TNA. So I wonder who will be the female to head up TNA's team. Because Ash has also stepped away as well. Oh. Whoa. Wow. Okay, so Santino has picked Kalani Jordan to be the TNA captain because she's the Knockouts champion. Wow. Okay. Interesting. So that makes sense. So I guess, in the women's division, it looks like TNA might end up being the babyface team. I don't know. I wonder how it'll work out. Oh yeah, showing Kalani winning that. So. Oh yeah, I bet Indy Hartwell will probably be on that team as well. Man, I was surprised to read about that. Hey, Ronwell, the champion of champions in the house. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Yeah, George. Well, that's the thing. You got to imagine that JC's got to probably pick Fallon. It sucks that Laney might actually be injured because you would assume she'd probably pick Laney as well. I would imagine Lash Legend too. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know if are they going to pick the whole teams now? Okay. So we're finalizing teams by the end of the night. Oh, they're rebranding it now. Okay. JC's pretty much the only heel in the ring, complaining about the captains, but Ricky just standing on business. And that's next week. So we're going to find out. All right, Vic and Booker in the house. Corey Graves still selling that beating from Brock Lesnar. Oh yeah, we got Miss Parker and Lash Legend here tonight as well. There's the bougie bully herself. And that's next. All right. So while we're stepping away on break, I'm going to go ahead and just give you guys some quick bullet point thoughts I had about No Mercy. Going from start to finish, I was just writing a few bullet point notes as I was watching the show. All right. Number one, Javon Evans proved this weekend that he's a star on any level you want to showcase him. I mean, that's coming off the Sami Zayn match on Friday, coming off the No Mercy match. That dude shines, and I am excited to see what the future holds for Javon. But he will do whatever and be whatever they want him to be whenever they want him to. That guy is just solid gold. Also, I thought that, and I've said this before, but I think the decision to bring the speed titles to NXT was a stroke of genius. I'm not sure exactly how Lainey Reed got injured, but I thought Jaida Parker was a perfect replacement for her. The finishing sequence in that match, factoring in Lash Legend and Zarya in the whole in the whole finish there with the clock ticking down to Sol Ruka. Retaining was just a great finish. Also, again, Blake Monroe's gear for No Mercy. I said I thought she was channeling like the glamour Dudleys, but streets are saying that she was more like New Jack Barbie. So either way, Blake Monroe goes hardcore, and that cage match was very, very good. And also, let you guys catch this. Every match is a hair versus hair match if you apply yourself. If you know, you know. If you saw that match. Listen, it was a really good cage match, all in all. It was a great example. That cage match was a great example of being violent doesn't require gore. Now, I do think a little bit of blood in that match would have really put it over the top, but I love that match anyways, and it proved that you can have a violent match without people bleeding. Also, and I've already said this a couple times tonight. I can't believe they're not calling this event Takeover, but Showdown it is. Ethan Page and Tavion Heights was a solid technical bout, and I think it was the right spot in the card too, coming after the cage match, but before the title matches. You're gonna have to have a match on a card when every match is really good. Something has to kind of calm the crowd down a little bit before they get amped up again emotionally. And I think those guys did their job well. Now I will say this, even though I've got a little bit of fatigue for NXT taking everyone's titles, the idea of Ethan Page being both the North American champion and the Latin American champion, if he were to take Dr. Wagner Jr.'s title, that is a gimmick I could get behind for sure. And let me say this now about JC Jane. Count me in as a hater who has been converted on JC Jane's worthiness as NXT Women's Champion. I did not believe in her for one bit when she won the title, and I have been won over by her reign. I'm not a fan of hers, but she has proven her worthiness as a champion. That being said, I really do believe that this had been this was the right time to crown Lola Vice, and I think they dropped the ball. I think they sucked the air out of the building by keeping the title on JC. I do assume it was Lainey Reed who cost Lola the match, but I don't know when Lola gets another rematch after this. And then, absolutely, pun intended, I didn't care for Ricky Saints beating Oba Femi clean as a babyface. They gave Ricky Saints the same like "Let Me Walk Around My Hometown" video package that they did for Lola Vice, and in the title, and did the title change for a guy. Listen, I'll say this: I think Ricky Saints is a natural heel, and so I just don't fully buy him as a babyface. I'm happy for him to get his recognition, behind the scenes and to be recognized as champion. But I think he'd be much more effective as a heel. And I can't believe they had Lola's family in the whole front row and dropped the ball with not crowning her. Nevertheless, final thoughts. Fantastic show, but they should have swapped the finishes and the winners and the match placements for the men and women's title matches. Lola Vice should have gone on last and won the title. And I just don't buy Ricky Saints as a babyface as NXT champion. Curious if he can protect the NXT title from both NXT and TNA challengers. So I'll be interested to see how that goes. Lyra Valkyria is here. We're back. Oh my gosh. It's a Lyra Valkyria doll Lyra gave to Tatum. Lyra just said, "I'm trying to be a better friend." So story continuity between Raw and NXT for Lyra Valkyria. I like that. Carrying her gimmick into multiple shows. All right, Modfather, I saw you. Miss Parker is here. Miss Parker and Miss Legend is here. So I hope you're awake and ready to roll, my friend. Okay, let's catch up on some comments. Thank you so much for rocking along with me in the comments. Let me see if I can catch up while Miss Parker is making her entrance into the ring. George said, so JC Jane has Fallon Henley, but who else do you think is someone else to join her team? That's the good question, man. Will they put both faces and heels on the women's team, or is it going to be on JC to recruit everybody, which means they're going to have to be all heels, but not even all the heels like her very much. So I don't know. That's kind of a bad call by Ava, if you think about it, to name her as the captain. Yeah, and we got Javon challenging for the X Division title. Lash Legend just straight up, man, just charging along. And hello, the missus is here. Briefly, everybody say hi to the missus. Be nice. Hi. Hey. How are you? Yeah, we're just catching up from the weekend, and the puppy's here too now. Everybody, it's a family affair here, So before the next football practice in the house, so not in the house, but you know what I mean. That would be destructive. All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful evening. I'll see you guys later on. Good to see you again. Oh, Mean Rashizi. Hey, man. All right. Want my opinion about Crown Jewel as Lash going for a cover, but only getting 2 there. We all know champion and champion. What can we expect from the other matches? Well, we've got 2 other matches announced right now. John Cena and AJ Styles. I think that's going to be a great match. I think babyface John Cena is giving us better matches. And AJ Styles will not let him down. He will not let the fans down either. So I think we'll be in for a very, very good John Cena and AJ Styles match. And then also, what's the other match? Rhea and Io versus the Kabuki Warriors. I think that match it has the potential to steal the show. I don't know if it will, because those ladies will be in modified gear. No, they won't. Because it's Australia. It's not Saudi Arabia. Sorry. I hear Crown Jewel. I think Saudi Arabia. So, those ladies, with it being in Australia, Rhea's home, they could burn the house down with that tag match. And they've got a great story behind them as well. So I think that tag match could really steal the show Saturday morning. Come let the Mod Father holler at you, Miss Parker. All right, man. Proceed with caution, Mod Father, because she's she's a little feisty. I mean, hey, some of us love our ladies that way, to be a little feisty, but you just gotta keep your hands up. You know what I mean? You just gotta be careful. Sophie said, A is not gonna like this. Dirty Dom was playing face in this match last night. I think Dom's eternal face turn is coming up on us quick, and they need to wrap up this Judgment Day story and go ahead and turn Dom face, because the fans are going to rush it before it's time to get here. And I think they should just lean into it, because the fans are ready to cheer Dom for the rest of his career. which is crazy that they got there while Liv is out. Now, granted, Dom hasn't done any funny business with Roxy, so I think they may be better off not trying to copy paste that storyline. I know they teased it at first. Honestly, I think a cool thing to do would to be teasing that story, but this time Dom stands strong and stays faithful to Liv. And maybe, that causes Roxy and Finn to turn on Dom. I don't know. I think that could be a fun wrinkle in that story, because the crowd wants to cheer Dom now, and they're gonna, because that dude's charisma is off the charts. He is maybe Eddie's kid, but yeah, dude is gonna be a wrestling legend one of these days. He's got the rocket strapped to him. He's got the business all over him. So he's going to do great. So I think we should probably just go ahead and get there. And I don't think you really have to change too much about Dom to make him a face either. Dro Davidian, good to see you, friend. UFC 320 is a Saturday. Ankalev or Alex? Give me Ankalev. How long do I think Ricky's going to hold the title, Justin? That's a good question. So I was thinking about that when he won, right? And in thinking about Ricky holding the title, I wonder how long he is away from coming up to the main roster. One thing. Another thing is, now that Oba doesn't have the title anymore, I think anybody who was going to hold the title other than Oba has a bigger target on their back, because Oba Femi is a generational talent and a generational gimmick. And so I could very well see, if they wanted to amp up the pressure of this NXT TNA relationship, that Ricky could be a guy who trips up and loses the title to a TNA talent. Could you imagine Mike Santana as NXT champion? Like, that could happen. I could see that. Or Moose as NXT champion. I could see that happening with Ricky as champion. So I do like the sense of vulnerability that Ricky brings to it, just by not being Oba Femi. So we'll see what happens. Ronwell says, my thoughts on the Invasion being renamed Showdown stuff. Let's just say, from me, WWE caved. I'm going to put your comment up here, Ronwell. WWE caved to the powers that be. I'm not saying who, but if you connect the dots, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, WWE and TKO, they're publicly traded companies, so they do have to consider a PR image. I do think changing it was a little oversensitive. I could see how some people would be upset by it, but there's the phrase, it's not that deep, or it's not that serious. And I think a one-time only pro wrestling show on the CW on a random Tuesday night, like, I don't think that's something to really get that upset about. So, and also, it was called Invasion because it's a playoff of the 2001 WCW WWE Invasion pay-per-view. So, like, there was no harm, no ill intentions in calling it Invasion. But whatever. It's what's done is done now. So, I don't care enough either way. Other than the fact that they didn't call it Takeover. I saw somebody else said they could have also called it Cross the Line, which is, a TNA phrase from back in the day. When people would leave WWE or other territories and show up in TNA, they'd say they crossed the line. Kurt Angle crossed the line. Christian Cage crossed the line, But, oh well. It is what it is. All right. So we're looking in picture. We saw a shot of Santino Morello on the phone in an office talking with Mike Santana, and it looked like Leon Slater was in there with him. We can maybe assume Leon Slater might be on Team TNA as well. Tyrell, oh man, sorry you weren't feeling well, dude. I'm glad you're recovering, man. Hope you get better soon. Yeah, Ronway, I know what you're saying, dude. Justin, I mean, I think the world, the streets we all need Obafemi versus Moose too. Could you imagine if Oba and Moose like tagged up? Whoa! Lash just grabbed a handful of Jada's tights to pull back off of an Irish whip. Got a little strong with that. Jada fighting back against Lash though. Hey Dawsey, my thoughts on Fatal Influence losing a member Sophie. You know, I followed a little bit of the story. So Jasmine Nix is no longer with WWE or with NXT. All right, Jada dropping it in the corner, but Lash is back up. Jada, you about to get, oh man, pump kick. It's a nasty pump kick from Lash. You know, I hate it for Jasmine. I thought she gave such a mature response to leaving NXT. She felt like she was lowballed. I mean, that's oversimplifying it. And you know, if you feel that way, then yeah, you move on. So I get that. You gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, so I kind of hate it that Lash going for the finish now, but we're getting a reversal. Jada counters, and we got a hypnotic. Boom, hypnotic right in the middle of the ring. And she does it. Miss Parker takes it clean from Lash Legend, drops that hypnotic right in the middle of the ring. And Miss Parker is on the up and up, y'all. Oh my gosh. So there we go. Clock that, y'all. So yeah. I hate the timing of both Jasmine being released and Lainey getting hurt, because I feel like it was a foregone conclusion that Lainey Reed's going to be joining Fatal Influence in Jasmine's place. But it is what it is. What I would have done, since I'm on the Lola Vice train, what I would have done is kept Jasmine Nix long enough to have her at No Mercy, have Jasmine Nix make a mistake and cost JC the title. Lola wins. Lola's the champion. And then tonight, have Lainey Reed and Fallon Henley dump Jasmine Nix out. Do what they did last week of her getting attacked backstage, and have Lainey Reed take her place tonight. And just do it just like that. Boot or no boot. All right, I see men backstage locker room. Some of the people we see are Javon, Hank and Tank, Miles Bourne, Tavion Heights, Trick Williams, Josh Briggs, Lexus King. All right, Javon's on the team. We know Slater's probably going to be on the TNA team. Okay. Miles Bourne. We got 3. Whoa, Trick said we need some more power and size. Jasper Troy just walked up. Trick's bringing in Josh Briggs, though. Ooh. Okay. So here's what we got going on. Trick keeps calling himself a co-captain, first of all. We're going to get Miles Bourne versus Josh Briggs tonight. The winner will join Team NXT. So we've got Ricky Saints, Trick Williams, Javon Evans, and either Briggs or Bourne. I don't know if we're doing 5-on-5 or 4-on-4. I don't know if they were clear about that. If you guys know and I missed it, let me know. All right. Angela asks a few minutes ago. I'm so far behind, guys. I'm so sorry. Who's my favorite current NXT superstar? Gosh, Angela, that's a great question. I'm sorry. I'm just catching up now. I do love Oba. I do love Obafemi, and I love Javon Evans as well. You know who I really loved was Yoshi Inamura, but he hasn't been on TV in weeks. I think he's already gone back to Noah, perhaps, to Japan. I really loved him while he was there as well. There's so many fun talents to get behind in NXT. As far as the ladies go, that's a good question too. Probably, man, what lady? So probably Sol Ruka. Probably Sol Ruka. It's hard though, because I was sitting there thinking through like Lola Vice, Jaida Parker. I mean, Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace are both great. Yeah, I mean, there's so many talented women to choose from. It's hard for me to narrow that down. Yeah, Sophie. Yeah, she didn't get all that well. Oh, Justin. Yeah, my Bulldogs lost to Alabama on Saturday. So getting to watch No Mercy after the Georgia game definitely made me feel better. Yeah, us Georgia fans, man, we just banging our head against a wall. Sometimes there's just one team that always gets the best of you. No matter what happens. And so hopefully they bounce back. It's a long season, and now that college football has expanded playoffs, you can afford to lose a game in the season and still be okay. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, Dulcie, I'm glad we're getting Cena Styles as well. So I love that. Ronwell asking, since Three Diglets retired, but before you created, imagine what I would do on your super chat title because there's something he couldn't do. Become 3 belts, Ronwell. Very true, my friend. Very true. Yeah, I'm looking forward to creating a super chats title. I don't want to put my cart before the horse, but yeah, expect some kind of a retro feel to my title because that's kind of what we do here. So let's see. Yeah, let's see. Modfather, Naya had a hard weekend, my friend. I saw the end of SmackDown. I'm not blaming Naya for that though, but that was an unfortunate finish to that match. I don't think it's her fault though. Yeah, so let me see, catching her wrong. Let's see. My favorite NXT. Oh yeah, so I got that. All right. Really? So Adam Copeland's Adam Copeland's contract. I mean, I'm sure he'll say hi in WWE again before he stops being with wrestling all along. Yeah, Ron. Well, yeah, I know what you were talking about with kind of caving into societal pressures and stuff like that. I totally know what you were talking about, but yeah. Let's see. All right. Oh, don't hurt me like that, Teflon Don. It is 5-on-5, Dulcie. Okay. All right. Here comes the North American champion, the standard bearer of Canadian excellence. Lance Storm and Bret Hart would be proud. All ego, Ethan Page. Yeah, Dulcie. Yeah, the end of that match, it started off with Tiffany being late to break up the pin on Jade. So Nia had to kick out when she wasn't supposed to. And so I think the finish of that match was supposed to be Tiffany knocking Jade off and stealing the pin. But she was so late to steal the pin, Nia already kicked out. And then here we are with what happened. All right, here comes Ethan Page cutting a promo. I feel like, George, I feel like we're still headed on a collision course with Dr. Wagner Jr. Justin, I would love to see Edge swoop in and be one of those last matches for Cena, but I don't think that's realistic. Even if his contract was over, how quickly he could get over, because I know they already have plans to a degree for what they're going to do for Cena. Dro, yeah, I think Roman will. When you say help his friend, you talking about the Usos? Oh, here comes the somebody's here. I'm assuming it's Dr. Wagner, but let's see. Dressed fancy. Okay, Paige calling him out, but we haven't seen his face. Do we know that's Dr. Wagner? No, it's not Dr. Wagner. It's Mustafa Ali. Hey. Okay. We are getting a fully crossed up card, dude. This is all leading to next week. Come on with it. Because I thought Mustafa Ali might actually be on the TNA team, but I guess not. Come on, dude. Ali and Ethan Page. That match would crush. Man, I remember Mustafa Ali and the CWC, man, the Cruiserweight Classic. I think he's getting welcome back chance from the NXT faithful. Oh, Dro, I don't know, man. I don't know if he will or not. Dr. Wagner Jr. the third. Oh, you don't owe me anything, but NXT does. Ooh, we're dusting off history books. Ooh, Ali cutting deep here. What a good continuity story. The crowd's behind Ali, too. Ali earned a North American title shot 2 years ago and was released from the company before he could get it. Welcome. Oh, Mustafa chance. I thought they were saying welcome home. I was like, that's a little disingenuous. Dang, Ethan Page. Wow. This is the part where you cry, right? Wow. I'm not going to cry for a title match. I'm going to politic for it. Mm. Ooh, boy. I'm loving what Ethan Page is doing with this reign, but man, if they swapped it with Mustafa Ali, I wouldn't hate it. Bring your plates, guys. Next week, we're eating good. Mm, that's a cold line from Ethan Page. Every challenger who challenges me is cursed. Dro TKO. Oh, now we're swinging. These guys are both in full on suits, too, fighting it out. Sends Ethan to the outside. Oh, they both went for the belt, but Ethan Page got it to bail. All right, y'all. Listen, next week, we're getting 2 Survivor Series matches. We're getting a TNA tag title versus NXT tag title. We're getting the North American title on the line. Awesome. All right, Ren and Kendall here. Here comes JC Jane looking to recruit ladies. Oh, here's Fallon with her too. Okay, so we've got JC, perhaps Jaida Parker, definitely Sol Ruka. Okay, and then Fallon and Lola battling out for the last spot. And Zarya wants to chat it up with Sol Ruka. So, okay. Wow. Justin, I totally think we will see the Dudleys at Showdown next week. I'm having to train myself to say Showdown. Yeah, man. George, unless they repeat like the same thing they did to Lola at No Mercy, I think she beats Fallon because they're doing one of two things. They're either, they got rid of Jasmine because Jasmine's leaving the company, but they're either going to bring Laney on board for Fatal Influence, or they might start to dissolve Fatal Influence. Because for weeks, as we've been seeing, JC has been getting increasingly frustrated and dismissive with Fatal Influence. And I find it a little interesting that she didn't just immediately pick Fallon to be a part of the team either. So I think Lola could win that match. I think Lola could take that spot. and that could create more tension within Fatal Influence. And now that Laney Reed is hurt, I do you want to keep that potential feud with Lola hot, or do you want to put it on the back burner until she can get better and then pick it up when she heals up? I don't know what they want to do. But yeah, these matches are going to be interesting. My thumbnail next week is going to be out of control. I thought the homecoming episode thumbnail was going to be crazy, but this one is going to be too. So let's just kind of repeat, what we've got so far. Justin, the only person from AAA, I guess it could have been Lahedra, because she doesn't care for Lola at all. So that's really the only villain or the only rival she has in AAA right now is Lahedra, right? Because everybody else seems to like her. Anyway, so yeah, let's revisit next week. So y'all join me next week for TNA Showdown, NXT TNA Showdown. We're right here, same time, same channel. We're gonna have Mustafa Ali challenging for the North American title from Ethan Page. We're gonna have the Hardys versus Dark State with both TNA and NXT tag titles on the line. We're gonna have this, I think, 5-on-5 women's and men's elimination match. It's gonna be crazy. And I think I don't know if there's if we're gonna have another match already lined up on top of that or not, but we are going and going. Oh gosh. Let's see. Yeah, I would not for a second want to see Dark State as the NXT tag champions. But could you imagine the Hardys becoming NXT tag champions and them getting to add that to their legacy? Yeah, pretty wild. Pretty wild stuff. Oh gosh. But yeah, I'm so glad you guys are here each and every week. I try to do more shows throughout the week as life allows me to do, so we can hang out and watch wrestling together. But man, NXT is always just the most fun because, like, for me, I mentioned college football at the beginning of the show, right? And something else I love about college football is very similar to NXT. You get to see future greats coming up and see them do their thing, and there's a level of passion and excitement for people who are trying to get to the big time in what they're doing, and yet there are still narratives and story threads and things going on at that level too. And that's why I love NXT, man. And so maybe, it's not always perfect, but man, these guys and women give it their all. Oh, we're getting a video package on the Hardys, man. God bless them. They sound so old. Can the Hardys handle the numbers game, though? It is the only WWE tag titles they've never won. That's true. Other than the new ones that are out right now, the Pizza Hut titles and the old school ones. Here's what I'm curious about, though. They already have a match. Boy, they changed that Showdown logo pretty quick. If the Hardys win, would they defend them at Bound for Glory against the Dudleys? Or is it just for the TNA titles? Because imagine then if the Dudleys could also become NXT champions. That would be wild. All right, we get Miles Bourne versus Josh Briggs. Drop your predictions in here. Winner joins the NXT team. Yeah, I'm curious. There's a part of me that thinks Josh Briggs is going to take it just because I think narratively speaking, he makes things more complicated for Team NXT. Being the sort of wild card that he is. So count me in for Briggs in this match. But either way, I'm very interested in seeing Briggs and Miles Bourne's chemistry, though. Bourne's gotten some good matches out of Lexus King the past few weeks. They did the lights out match and the blindfold match. So let's see what he gets out of Smoking Skull Josh Briggs here. Yep, baby Randy, Angela. You know it. The Smoking Skull thing, I feel like he needs to lose that. It just doesn't fit with everything else he does. It feels like a rib on him. Like, it would look really cool. Put this dry ice smoking skull on your vest, on your leather vest. And I like Josh Briggs. I've sung his praises for quite a while. He's got that sort of JBL test kind of viciousness. You know, Angela, maybe it's the placement of the skull. Dude, the NXT crowd, the Vader helmet. Okay, Angela, you're hitting me in the feels on that one. I did always love the Vader helmet. The NXT faithful is like getting their doctorate in haterism on Josh Briggs. They're chanting anybody but Josh Briggs. They cannot stand him. And Briggs is not a bad wrestler. He's also, I said Test and JBL. He's also got a little bit of Baron Corbin, like old school Baron Corbin in him as well. All right, Dro. Whoa, big dive from Miles Bourne. You won't see Randy doing that anytime soon. Dang. Wow. Speaking of Randy Orton, he will be teaming with Cody Rhodes Friday on SmackDown to take on the Bronze of the Vision, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. So for those who are watching SmackDown, you have that to look forward to. Trick and Ricky watching this match closely backstage. Round 2, Dro. Yeah, Randy used to do that old crossbody finish, and that terrible finish, the overdrive move that MVP did for a little while, and Elix Skipper did. Just one of the worst finishers in all pro wrestling. Is that Matt Cardona? Cardona's in the house. You know who else is in the house? Woo woo woo. You know it. A&B Combos Wrestling Edition. Anybody but Josh Briggs. Anybody but Josh Briggs. Briggs, go away. Briggs, go away. Briggs, go away. Man. Angela, funny you had mentioned that. Not a lot of tall people in WWE anymore. If Briggs went to AEW, he would look like Omos. So yeah, George, Cardona is. They did a split screen. He is in that TNA office with Santino, Leon Slater, and shoot, who's the captain for that team? Santana. I'm gonna have to start taking notes as to who's on each team right now because I'm having such a hard time keeping track of it at this point. I'm actually going to do it here on my phone while we're watching. Oh, crossbody coming right off. Briggs going for the pin. Nope. All right, so we got Saints, Trick, and Javon confirmed so far for the men's team for NXT. So, and then either Miles Bourne or Josh Briggs versus who appears to be Santana, Slater, Cardona, and we don't know who else yet. Then the women, let's see. The women, we got JC, we got Soul Ruka. I do miss Dijak too, Angel. That's actually a good. That's a good good pick there. That's a good comparison. Another channel requesting your services, Teflon Don. My friend, well, we want to have you around as long as you want to be around, my friend. Yeah, so it's either going to be Lola or Fallon. That matches tonight as well. And so far for the women, we only know Kalani, right? For TNA. Oh, man, yeah. Absolutely amazing, Angela. Keith Lee and Dijak has some crazy stuff too. I know, man. Did you ever see the Cody Rhodes podcast with Kevin Owens where they were just dogging on Matt Cardona for like, you want to be king of the indies, but you keep talking about how you want to come back to WWE? They were being so mean to him, but it was pretty funny. Oh, gosh. All right, Miles Bourne still working over. Still working over Briggs here. Man, oh man. Yes, he does hate fake tans. I don't blame him either when he gave his rationale for that. You know, like when you think about it logistically, when you're trying to wrestle in the ring and, you know, guys don't have their stuff, you know, locked in and settled in and stuff, you know, it's a reason to be upset about it. Man, big side slam followed by a splash from Briggs. Day one is Teflon Don. You my dog, man. Don't worry, brother. Oh, man. Always glad you're here. By the way, any question you want to drop in the chat for the week, we haven't done a Modfather Teflon Don question of the week in quite a while. So if you got one ready to rock in the chamber, you just go ahead and set that thing off, brother. We will do that. We'll highlight it and get everybody in on the conversation while we're wrapping up this match between Briggs and Miles Bourne. So Shamanica, Ricky, and Trick are both on the team already. So I don't know yet. I mean, Trick just keeps calling himself co-captain. Santino said expressly he did not want Trick on his team because you cannot trust a man whose name is Tricky. That's just my Santino impersonation. I'm not actually doing other accents. Yeah, right. No drinking game every time they say showdown. I think you're right, Angela. Double skulls would be much better. George, I could see you too. I could see he's right as well. I absolutely could see Indy Hartwell joining the team and the inspiration possibly. Yes, George. Ava chose Ricky Saints, and I think Ricky chose Trick. on the team. I came in a little late into that segment because we were talking about No Mercy. But yeah, Trick is very much involved in recruiting the NXT side. I feel like they poured a little extra of that Spirit Halloween dry ice, though. He was smoking up real good, man. He was looking like he was in Half Baked with Dave Chappelle and Jim Brewer and Harlan Williams and all those guys. That's a deep cut for some of y'all. I want to talk to Samson. All right. Oh, there's that Randy Power Slam right there from Miles Bourne. Only 2. Can Miles Bourne use the power of love from La Primera to get this dub? I mean, if he's with La Primera, he's already got a dub in life anyway. So good for you, Miles. Big back suplex from Miles Bourne. Firing up. Wants to finish off Josh Briggs. Can he do it? Jumping code breaker. Briggs still on his feet, though, and matches with a big boot, and they are both down. Briggs trying to get back to his feet. Oh, he's pulling off the chain. Somebody here. People are looking in the crowd, though. Somebody's in the crowd. Nope. Oh, it's Cardona. Cardona pulling the chain away from Briggs, distracting him. And now the ref sees the chain. And boom, big drop kick from Miles Bourne. And zigzag. Born again is what they call it. That's 3. With an assist from Matt Cardona, Miles Bourne qualifies for Team NXT. A new wrinkle in the story now. Now, Cardona will have drawn the ire of Josh Briggs. I ain't gonna lie. Josh Briggs and Matt Cardona is a match I would watch. I think those two could have some fun in the ring as well. But interesting that a TNA star would insert himself into basically a qualifying match for Team NXT. I wonder if we still I'm still going to stick with Hank Dro. I wonder if we'll get Briggs versus Cardona next week and Cardona's not on Team TNA. All right. Teflon Don's giving us a question. Okay, so it's 4. It looks like it's 4-on-4. So, okay, these are 4-on-4 Survivor Series matches, which honestly, that makes sense because it's going to take a long time to do 8-man eliminations in 2 different matches. Here comes, the Mod Father's question. If you can choose any wrestler from any era who has the most aura, who would it be and why? For me, it would be Stone Cold, just dripping with aura. Okay, Teflon Don, I'm going to think on that. And when we get to commercial, I will tell you my answer. The rest of you, drop those answers in the chat. Who got the most aura for you of all time? That Joe Hendry appearance. Who just rolled up? Santana. Everybody. Well, Jordan Grace and Joe Hendry both feeling left out because they both kind of have a foot in both camps. But here comes Miss Lola Vice about to take on Fallon Henley for the right to be on Team NXT for the ladies. All right. Who's got the most aura? Modfather and everybody else, I want to say for me, the wrestler who's got the most aura of all time, it's got to come down to two. I can't choose between two because they're very different. Okay. And keep in mind, I became a wrestling fan in the mid 80s. So I'm going over a long period of time. The first one, Nature Boy Ric Flair. Flair's aura, I mean, he was the poster boy for living the gimmick. He was, he just had, I mean, his strut, his confidence, everything, every emotion he conveyed in and out of the ring, larger than life and not cartoonish, you know? But that's one. But the other one, and it's in a whole completely different way. And keep in mind, I'm going all the way back to the late 80s, early 90s, all the way up through now. And let me see, because Teflon said a few. I haven't seen anybody say him yet. Oh, Angela just did. The Undertaker. That, the Undertaker's entrance, his classic entrance, is the most aura-filled entrance in wrestling history, and I will not hear any other alternative options. Like, no one comes close. And yes, that includes Roman Reigns. Yes, that includes The Rock. Yes, that includes CM Punk. Yes, that includes Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm telling you, the way The Undertaker had the entire building in a chokehold from 1990 all the way to 2019, 2020. The biker taker stuff I never really cared for that much, but Dead Man Undertaker, no one touched for me. So yeah, I'm gonna say the Undertaker because he is the wrestler I think of when I think of the word aura, because it's just something bigger than him when he comes out, and the whole mood of the entire room changes, and it becomes bigger than a sporting event or an entertainment event. It truly is an experience to witness his entrance, his persona. Because like the thing is too, is when the Undertaker started in the early 90s, he was a lot like Kane when Kane started. Like he was Michael Myers. He was a horror movie final boss. You did not plan to actually beat the Undertaker. You just planned on how were you going to slow him down, because you weren't going to beat him. Could you win by count out? Could you win by a DQ? Whatever. You weren't keeping him down. He's just going to keep getting back up. Like early Kane. Early Kane was about as close. For those of you who are old enough to remember early Kane, when he first debuted, that is the closest to rendition to what the Undertaker was really like when he first started. And I mean, just aura for days. Anyway, have a lot of love for a lot of wrestlers over the course of history. But wonderful question, Teflon Don. Thanks for stirring up the conversation. I'd love to see everybody's answers. Angela also mentioned Goldberg's entrance. When it was at its peak, that was amazing stuff too, as well. Two relentless beasts, Goldberg and Obafemi, you also mentioned, but two completely different kinds of entrances. And they both really achieved what they were looking for as well. For sure. Great stuff there. Great stuff all around. Yeah, so man, we're having quite a night here on NXT, prepping for the NXT TNA showdown next week. And we'll see what our match card looks like next week. So we're gonna have 2 4-on-4 matches. Yes, George. Sting dropping from the rafters. That was aura right there as well. You know what I miss about wrestling? I saw a clip the other day from an old Nitro. of Sting taking out the NWO. And fans were so rabid back then. Not only did they pop for the entrance, they popped for every single punch he threw. And I miss seeing a crowd that excited about seeing a heel get beat up. And that just doesn't happen as much as it used to anymore. And man, like the last time I really remember seeing somebody get that cheered for getting beat was when Ray finally beat up Dominic at WrestleMania. I think that was actually a really well booked feud too. All right, here comes Fallon Henley, Sting taking off the Sting mask. Yes. Oh man, JC Jane is here with Fallon Henley, and will she be a factor in this match at all? Oh, George, Starcade 97 broke my heart, dude. Sting should have won that match the way that Brock Lesnar beat John Cena. He should have dragged Hogan from pillar to post and beat him within an inch of his life and squashed him for that match alone. That's how you should have paid off Sting beating the NWO, but whatever. I wouldn't even call Haku Aura, man, because he's real. Haku's just straight up real terror. You know what I mean? All right, let's see. All right, Lola, let's see if she can bounce back from that unjust finish from No Mercy and get the win over Fallon Henley and join Team NXT for Showdown next week. Yeah, for real. Yes, that's what I say. Haku is the real deal. Like, even to this day, wrestlers are like, who would you want with you in a bar fight? They'd even be like Haku today. Not even Haku in the 80s and 90s. Like, we'll take him now. And he'll rip somebody's throat out. Oh, Fallon kicking Lola in the back of the head, but only for 2. Yeah, no, Sting's whole aura in the early days of the Crow gimmick was a stroke of beauty. Yeah, Angela, Haku and Brock in a bar fight, the bar burns down. I don't know who. It's like the tagline for Alien versus Predator. I don't care who wins, we lose. Yeah, they just straight up get it. Wait, we getting a tag match tonight? I didn't even see this. There's a graphic here of the Culling versus Javon Evans and Leon Slater. Keep calling it Invasion, Ronwell. I don't mind. I didn't even know we had time for a tag match tonight. I didn't even see that get announced. Oh, Fallon dropping Lola right on the back of her head. Sliding out of the ring. Fallon in control, though. Not sure what that move was, but she takes Fallon down. Yeah, I'm curious if Laney makes an appearance here, because clearly they've got a feud boiling, simmering on the back burner, if you will, between Lola and Laney Reed. Justin, it's got to be the hand of God who breaks down, who breaks up the Haku and Brock fight. Yeah, Dossie, it's 4-on-4. So I thought it was 5-on-5 initially as well, but they showed a match graphic when we came back from commercial break, and it's indeed 4-on-4. Death itself, indeed. Man, 6 suplex from Lola, starting to fire up. George, do you think we'll get a similar finish to the men's match where a TNA talent causes an interference to affect the outcome of this match? Boom. Lola just handled business. She just dropped Fallon with that back fist. And that's what we love to see here at Marked by Wrestling. Lola Vice confirmed for the women's team. And JC doesn't, she's resigned to it. Yeah. So we got the Culling versus Javon Evans and Leon Slater. That's going to be a heck of a tag team right there tonight, guys. I think we got ourselves a treat in store for us. My favorite Brock match, Angela. Ooh, good question. This is cheating, but I really liked the 2020 Royal Rumble where he took on, 16 different guys. But if I'm going to keep it one-on-one, just because of its sheer insanity, the Goldberg match from WrestleMania 33, where if it was a game of 2K, they both just started off with 3 finishers each, and it was just a match of spamming finishers. It was like Godzilla versus King Kong. You're absolutely right, Angela. Brock is a totally underrated seller. When he wants to put on a good match with you, just watch. He had a string of Survivor Series matches with AJ Styles, Bryan Danielson, and Rey Mysterio. I think Finn Balor might have been in one of those as well, but maybe that was a different one. But all of those matches were great stories. His AJ match was actually exceptionally good out of those 3. So yeah, any of those good Brock matches for sure. My least favorite Brock match though was him destroying Kofi Kingston. All right. I hated that match so much. Who do I think has a better drop kick? Randy Orton, AJ Styles, or Okada? Randy Orton. A man of Randy's size. I mean, AJ and thank you, Angela. I had a feeling that was a PLE, but I wasn't convinced that it was Survivor Series. The thing about AJ and Okada, they're both smaller, which doesn't mean their drop kicks aren't as good. But for Randy to be able to get up as high as he can for a man his size to this day, highly impressive. You know who else had a really good drop kick? I think it was Mark Jindrak. He could get up there as well. Maven also had a good drop kick as well. Yeah. Our first ever Tough Enough winner, Maven. And now, YouTube superstar. So, yeah, Brock he just likes to keep it real. And I didn't even mention his Eddie Guerrero match. That was a great one as well. The build up to that match, Eddie's promo going into No Way Out 2004 was fantastic. I love it that even though like Goldberg interfered in that match, they spent enough time after the interference for Eddie to still kind of get a clean win. Yeah, great finish of that match. A good, believable underdog beats a monster story. A great David and Goliath story. Yeah, for sure. Oh man, you guys. So yeah, we've got a tag match. I'm very interested now to see how Javon Evans and Leon Slater blend together as a team. I wonder if we'll see anything, visually spectacular. AMB Combos jumping in to the aura question. Stephanie Vaquer, yeah, she's got that aura for sure. And yes, Old School Taker. I agree with AMB Combos, man. Old School Taker was something special. I think it's also too because aura was just not something you measured as much in those days. but Taker's was undeniable. So you knew you were feeling it. If you really judged Aura like the way you do it now with people, you could probably go through the old school WWF and WCW rosters and find some people who still had it pretty well. I think of like Jake the Snake had some crazy aura about him. The Road Warriors, bro. Yeah, let's give it up real quick for Hawk and Animal. You knew you were about to die when these men came to the ring. Talk about aura and Blast and Black Sabbath, Iron Man when they're coming to the ring. Nah, dog, you're about to die, and no one's gonna stop it. No Final Destination cheating death for you. You can get dropped on your neck and you're done. Precisely, Angela. Yeah, they call it the Road Warrior pop for a reason. Yep. Dark State promo here. Man, pray for Jeff Hardy's back, because if they try to do that alley-oop power bomb on the Hardys, woo. Yeah, Hawk and Animal, two of the all-time greats, man. I miss them. Miss them a ton. I appreciate that logic. Not enough people say that when they're facing a champion who's like million-time champion, that means you've lost it a million times too. So don't act like I can't beat you. It sure was, Angela, man. It's any substance-related passing. It's just a tragedy. Tragedy all around. Okay, so we're getting Osiris and Dion versus Matt and Jeff. All right. So we know which Dark State we're getting. I'm curious about that match. And all right, here we go. Ethan Page defending the North American title next week against Mustafa Ali. I think that's going to be the sleeper match of the night next week at Showdown. And then, yeah, the Survivor Series team matches. Yeah, Angela, that was sad too about Eddie Guerrero. Eddie had been clean as well, and I just hate it. I hate it when they couldn't outrun the effects of what they did, you know? Yeah, George, I hated that too. Why do y'all look so confused? She's been trying to join Fatal Influence for like a month now. Oh well. Sorry. They don't watch the show. They're just in the show. All right. Well, the cards are on the table now. Lainey has revealed herself as Lola Vice's attacker and Jasmine Nix's attacker and sent her out of the company. So there we go. Will they invite her into the fold of Fatal Influence? All right. Here comes Javon. I'm gonna have to find a way to watch that match with Leon Slater, dude. I wish they were doing that next week on Showdown. Oh yeah, and we got Halloween Havoc coming up at the end of October as well. I'm about to check my calendar now to see if I'm going to be able to stream that. It is a possibility. We'll see. And the week after that is Saturday night's main event as well. Yeah. We'll see what Yes, Angela. Road Warrior Animal and Johnny Ace were brothers. We're brothers. John Laurinaitis. Yeah, I think there will be some. I think there will definitely be some tension between Fallon and JC for bringing Laney on board, um, or at least eventually between Fallon and Laney too. Laney certainly comes off as a bit of a go getter and an opportunist, so she very well may um, end up working her way up. All right, all right. So, yeah, we're rocking along here on NXT. We've got half hour left, so I imagine we'll get this tag match out of the way, and then after that, we should find out completely who the Survivor Series teams are in their totality because we still don't know for sure who's going to be on Team TNA. Kalani Jordan hasn't picked anyone yet, and Santana has been seen discussing things with a few TNA talent and Santino Morella, but no formal announcements as of yet. So I'm sure I imagine we'll get that in the final segment. And I'm trying to think of like big performers like Moose and stuff who we haven't actually seen in the building yet tonight. That could be a real no brainer to be on the team. So yeah, Bray's Memorial was so sad. Angela, his whole documentary, the whole documentary they did that Bo narrated and stuff, man, it was so good and so emotional. Okay, we are still on commercial. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. So yeah, we've got Crown Jewel coming up in just a couple of weeks. What match are you guys most looking forward to? We have Cody and Seth, which I got to give the production team credit. Another wonderful job of just scaling back the history of Cody and Seth's feud together. And I'm really impressed with the levels they're going to try to make that match important since we've seen it 3 or 4 times already. Um, yes, Stephanie Vaquer versus Tiffany Stratton certainly could deliver as well. And then the Rhea and Io versus Kabuki Warriors match, and last but never least, John Cena versus AJ Styles. I'm assuming we'll get another match on the card. I feel like it would be a real disservice if Bronson Reed doesn't get on the card this time, and Roman has now made himself visible. Does Roman get a match, or does he show up in Perth? We'll have to see. So. All right. Well, here he comes. The X Division champion, Leon Slater. Youngest in charge. Yeah, Justin. Seth has not beaten Cody one-on-one yet. That is true. Yeah, the only scenario I can foresee is if Javon and Leon have some miscommunication and maybe some competitive conflict with each other. But straight up, there ain't no way Spears and Nico are taking this match. Just ain't no way. Just on paper alone, Leon and Javon, I mean, they're going to be in the stratosphere, baby. Mega bouncy. All right. Okay, so the whole of the culling are here, including Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley with her Lyra Valkyria Barbie now. Do I think Jay Uso may betray Roman for Seth? I don't think so. I don't see Jay joining in league with Seth and those guys. But I am intrigued by Jay's sort of shades of gray and his growing aggression and what that's doing to him and Jimmy. Yeah. So, George, I don't know if you were with us in the chat when it happened, but they had a backstage segment where Lyra showed up backstage and she even said, I'm trying to be a better friend these days, a reference to Bailey. And so she's like, I brought you a gift. And she gave her a new doll. And so Tatum threw away the blonde Izzy looking doll and now is holding the Lyra one. And Izzy didn't look happy about it. Well, Javon and Leon are they're vibing together. A little too much showboating from Leon though, and Sean throws him out of the corner, but he eats a kick anyway. Tags out to Nico Vance. Power moves incoming now. Oh nope, Leon slips out. Big drop kick. Kind of caught Leon Nico in the face. Boo, dude, big bouncy chant from the NXT crowd. Leon and Javon, they're not trash talking at each other, but like with each other. They're just hyping each other up. They're like, he's got an arm bar. Javon had an arm bar on Nico Vance, and he was just hollering at Leon, like, you want some more? You want some more? They're just tagging each other in. This is hilarious. Yeah, their match is going to be fun. I feel like they're just going to. Izzy is getting on to Tatum. She's still mad about that doll. Big chop from Leon. Tag out to Javon. Ooh. Spears with a spine buster. Uh-oh. Tatum just sat on the announce table admiring the doll from Lyra, and it distracted Sean Spears. And Izzy now yelling at her and snatched the doll away from her. And I think they've left ringside now. Double springboard splash. Stereo springboards from Javon and Leon. You know what they kind of remind me of? There was a brief time where John Cena and Randy Orton were fighting, every single week for like 20 months, it felt like. And there was one Raw main event where Cena and Orton had to tag team, I think, against almost the entire Raw roster. And they weren't getting along, but they just kept kind of one-upping each other with offense. And I feel like Leon and Javon are having a friendlier version of that. They're like, let's go. Let's do this. Justin asks, how do you feel about Jacob and Drew's segment on SmackDown? I love the prospect of those guys fighting each other. 100% love that. However, I feel like both of them could really use a good win. And that, I don't know. I don't know what's going to come out of that feud. Because Drew could use a win, and Jacob could too. Now, Leon got thrown over the top rope when he was going out of the corner, and then he fell to the floor like a standard bump for a guy that's really agile like him. But it looked like he hit his head on the steps on the way down. And I don't know if that was planned or not. I don't know if he's selling or not. He's got to be selling because the ref went out to the ring to check on him, and Nico Vance is, grabbing him by the head and throwing him back in the ring and stuff. So not letting up on him. Oof. Yeah, Leon Slater in trouble now. Trapped in the Cullings corner here. I forgot about that, Angela. All Triple H. Shades of what was to come. Spears taunting Javon in the corner while continuing to keep his advantage on Leon Slater. Leon's got him by the foot, though. Punch to the stomach. More body shots. Oh, but Spears cheap shots Javon, so now he's not on the corner as available as a partner. Tag to Nico Vance, who's going to cut off Leon Slater. Yeah. Y'all, when Javon eventually gets in this ring, this crowd's going to explode. Yeah, George, I think our final segment of the night is going to be finding out and confirming who all the teams are going to be. Possibly going to be possibly will be a huge brawl. We'll see what happens. Angela asking, what's your favorite SmackDown match of all time? It's hard for me to narrow it down, so I'd like to name a few if that's okay. Some of them with He Who Shall Not Be Named. Chris Benoit wrestled Steve Austin one-on-one on a SmackDown one time. It was right after Triple H tore his quad, and he and Jericho were taking turns having singles matches with Austin for the world title. Benoit and Austin on a SmackDown was a great match. Also, speaking of Benoit and Jericho as a tag team, yes, that TLC that they had on SmackDown, that was officially TLC 3, was amazing. I loved that match. And what other matches? The Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Iron Man match is an all-timer. SmackDown match. Let's see. What other great SmackDown matches? There was another one I wanted to say too that I couldn't remember. The night that the volcano went off, like in Iceland or something, and NXT had to basically run SmackDown, and we got Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan. That was an amazing SmackDown match as well. All right, here comes Javon. He's tagged in now, and he's running shop here, running point on both of Culling. Oh man, Irish whip follows through into a suicide dive. That was crazy. Wipes out Sean Spears, and now he's coming back in, springboarding, and knocks out Nico Vance. And Spears is back in. Javon's got moves for him too, though. Spin kick right there. Favorite Raw match, George? I want to go just because it's fresh on my mind. Benoit and Jericho versus Austin and Triple H was awesome. I would need some more time to really think about Raw, though, because it's been around for 30 years. Oh, man. Only a 2 count from that frog splash from Javon. The John Cena Shawn Michaels hour-long match was also really good. There was also a gauntlet match in 2017 or 2018 where Seth Rollins wrestled for like an hour. I can't remember all the guys who were in it, but that match was amazing as well. A great showcase from Seth Rollins. I'll keep thinking though. Some of my favorites, favorite matches from Raw. I know I saw someone mention, George mentioned Mankind winning the WWE title. That wasn't my favorite match, but that might have been the loudest pop in WWE history for Austin's entrance. Man, huge dive over the corner from Leon Slater, takes out the culling. Leon coming back in. Ray and Sammy from a couple weeks ago. Angela, yeah, that was amazing. And Javon and Sammy was fantastic as well. Man, Nico breaks up the pin at the last second. Leon almost had that win. Some of John Cena's U.S. Open challenges from Raw and SmackDown too were really good. The Cesaro match, the Sami Zayn match, the Kevin Owens match, all of those were excellent. Uh-oh. Evans caught. Nope. Oh, they're doing some magic. Double springboard stunner. And now a second double RKO. Booker is having a field day. Big dive takes out Vance. Now Leon and Spears alone in the ring. Leon's gearing up. Wow, Swanton 450. That is game, everybody. Best ball game. Slater and Javon, take it. That's a fun tag team, man. If they brought back the Dusty Rhodes Cup, they should do that, first of all. Do the Dusty Rhodes Cup and have it be NXT and TNA and let those two be a team. That would kill. That would feed families. It would kill, and we would take what we would kill, and we would feed families with the kill. Do that. Do that for me. Uh-oh. Oh, TNA is rolling up on the building like not like an invading force, because it's not an invasion. It's a showdown. Santino stopping him in the parking lot, though. Okay, everybody's outside. Oh, now both locker rooms are here trying to start something. There's the former Alicia Fox with Thea Hale just screaming at each other. And we're going to break, but I can still see the show. I see Zaya Brooks, Zia Lee, and Moose, and the Inspiration. I see who's the Rascals dude? He's out there. Wait. Leon and Javon are starting to get okay. So Ricky Saints and NXT, they're charging back in the building. They're making their way down to the ring. I've got a timer on my screen, so I don't know if you guys are on commercial or not, but they seem to be coming down to the ring. Zach Wentz, thank you. I couldn't remember. I kept wanting to say Pete Wentz, but that's the dude from Fall Out Boy, isn't it? All right, it is time for the summit. Javon and Leon both still in the ring. TNA wrestlers are sitting in the crowd. Oh, there's Cedric. And NXT superstars coming out to the ring. Yeah, so it's getting noisy. Certainly getting noisy in the NXT arena. Booker just saying, "Let them fight. Let them fight." Is y'all tell me, Mara, whatever her name is, the former Jakara Jackson, is she in TNA now? Wait, Tavion, Briggs, and Moose just got into it. Okay, they're still trying to separate each other. We're 30 seconds away from going live. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have another gang fight here by the end of the show. I tell you what, man, Briggs and Jasper Troy are rolling up on some TNA guys. That's a team I wouldn't want to mess with in NXT. All right. We're getting back to things now. Oh, I love to see the Iconics again. I miss them. Iconic. You gotta be joking me. Okay, here we go. Final segment. All right, running down the card. Oh, Trick sitting here talking over Ava. Trick's been doing some thinking. Ricky finally sick of him calling himself calling himself co-captain. I'm a captain. You riding shotgun. Ricky Saints, Trick Williams, Javon Evans, Miles Bourne. All right, there's your four. There's your four from NXT for the men. Okay. Here's TNA. You know, Justin, I'm curious about Jordan Grace and Joe Hendry and what they'll do. Okay, Frankie Kazarian. All right. Kazarian, a TNA OG. Moose. All right, we got Kazarian and Moose. And last, Santana's obviously. Leon Slater. Okay. So Santana, Kazarian, Moose, and Slater. That's a good team. All right. We're closing with the women. Mm. Ooh, JC calling Kalani a traitor because she said I repped NXT when I was TNA champion. The only double champ left in this building. Boom. JC putting Soruka over. Best finisher in the business. Only double champ left in the company. In the building in NXT. Jaida Parker. Listen, this is a good team. JC, Soruka, Jaida Parker. And who's number 4? If she makes the right choice, that's a kind of like a face turn for JC. Lola Vice. Y'all, don't sleep on this team. Soruka, Lola Vice, and Jaida Parker. Good grief. That is a brutal team. And JC's proud of it. So shout out to her. All right, here's Team TNA. Oh! All right, inspiration. 2 iconic champions, she said. Wink. Oh, please let it be Jakara. Oh, okay. So they're all ex-WWE people, but it's okay. So Mara, aka formerly Jakara, and the inspiration are Team TNA. Oh, and here's a fight. Here comes the fight. Get it. Cameraman still in the ring. Get the cameraman out of the ring. Cut to a wide shot, please. All right. It's a brawl. It's a brawl everywhere. Just fighting everywhere. Just fight, 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 fight. I can't call any of this action. It's just fight everywhere. Some Kevin Dunn cuts coming everywhere. Santino and Ava just standing off to the side. Poor Vic Joseph. He's trying to call action. There's just way too much going on. Huh. Man. Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is out in the aisle. And he's just looking. Are we going to have anything? Is it just going to go to black like this? Or are we going to see something? Shawn just looking on at the carnage. There's HBK chance. Jaida Parker just beating Cassie Lee with her own jacket. Yeah, this fight is just going on. There is some security trying to break things up, but ain't nothing happening. Even Santino trying to get things to break up, but Shawn just smiling. Shawn Michaels, dude. Never change, HBK. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, what a finish, man. What do you guys think of NXT tonight? Quite a show. And we got a heck of a show for you next week with Showdown between TNA and NXT. It's going to be a phenomenal show. And Angela, you point out a very prescient point. Not one peep from Obafemi. He's not in the building, not on camera, no satellite interview, no vignette. He's completely radio silent for this feud. So his time may be coming. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I'm not going to try to count all my eggs before they hatch with Obafemi, but next week is going to be a whole lot of fun. Yes. Okay. So Angela's comment reminded me, I told you guys at the beginning of the show, there were 3 possible things I wanted to see from Obafemi if he were to be called up to the main roster. And number 1 is what Angela just said. Obafemi could be the man to take out Sami Zayn and debut as the new U.S. champion. I'm not saying Friday, okay? I'm saying give it time. Let Sami do what he's doing for a while, because what Sami's doing right now is working. But when you want to end it, that's when you debut Obafemi. That's one option. Option number 2, and this is the most immediate one. So it's the least likely I want to see happen. But have him as a surprise entrant in War Games at Survivor Series. Like have, Cody or, Roman or whoever's going to be in this War Games team. Obviously, we're going to have the Vision, right? We're going to have Seth and Braun and Bronson, maybe even Brock Lesnar, as a team here, and have Obafemi come in to be with the baby faces, and just debut him there, let him wreck shop. But number 3, this is the one I want to see the most. We let Obafemi take a break and bring him in to the Royal Rumble. And when he comes into the Royal Rumble, he straight up drops Brock Lesnar like a bag of trash and yeets Brock Lesnar out of the Royal Rumble. And we get Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi at WrestleMania. And Brock Lesnar gets Brock Lesnared by Obafemi. I think that would be the best favor Brock could ever do for anybody on the roster. If Brock could put over a monster the way he has monstered other people, there's a very, very small number of people who you could believe could do that. Obafemi is one of them. Nevertheless, that's what I would have loved to have seen. Anyways, great show from NXT. We're going to be cooking big time next week with the Showdown show. Hardys are coming back. We're getting 2 Survivor Series matches, that great North American title match with Mustafa Ali. So there's going to be a lot of fun. And NXT doesn't ever skimp on the backstage stuff either. So we're probably going to see, a cameo here too, maybe some teasing of other stuff, because we don't know how long this partnership's going to go. I mean, it's going to go for a minute, So we're going to probably build to some more stuff. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for being a part of Marked by Wrestling and watching NXT together with me. Love it every single time we get to do it. Stay tuned for the channel, and we will do what we can to be more present with you as soon as we can. But you can always and forever meet me on Tuesday nights for NXT. We will watch that together and enjoy wrestling, find our joy in the joy of wrestling. And we'll close the stream like we do every single time with our motto here at Marked by Wrestling. Don't forget to be a mark, because being a mark just means you believe, and believing makes wrestling better. Love you guys. Thank you for everything. Thank you for this community. I will see you guys again very soon. Have a great rest of your evening.